What's an emergency fund? Why does it matter? And how on earth do you build one even if money's tight? Hey everybody, welcome to Thrifty Budgeting. Today we're going to be breaking down why an emergency fund isn't just nice to have, it's vital. Look, without it, even one surprise bill can devastate your budget, making it brutally hard to dig out of, sometimes taking months or even years to recover from. And while that sounds scary, the fix is simpler than most people think. So be sure and watch until the end, and we'll show you how to set up an emergency fund that shields your budget and safeguards your peace of mind. Now, before we get into how to build one, let's start with the basics. What is an emergency fund? Imagine this. You're driving home and suddenly your car starts making that mysterious clunk clunk sound. Yep, you know something's about to break and it's not gonna be cheap. Or maybe you wake up and your water heater decides it's auditioning for Old Faithful, blasting your laundry room into an indoor water park. And let's not forget about the fridge. That thing always seems to die, and at the worst possible time, leaving you with spoiled food and a smell that could knock over a horse. Now here's the real question. Do you have cash stashed away right now to cover any of these things if they were to happen? Or would you be scrambling to see which credit card hasn't been tapped out? Now, without a safety net, stuff like this can put you in a really bad spot super fast. And nobody wants to spend the next 6 months living on ramen noodles because life dealt them a bum hand. Now, these examples, though, are exactly what an emergency fund's for. Let's dig into how that safety net actually makes all the difference. Why an emergency fund matters. After hearing about the busted cars, exploding water heaters, and fridge funerals, of course it feels obvious you need a safety net. But plenty of people still put it off. I mean, they think, that probably isn't going to happen, or I'll just deal with it when it does. Here's the problem with that. Emergencies don't wait for the perfect time. When something hits and there's no cushion, most people end up scrambling, pulling out the credit card, taking on high interest loans, or even dipping into their retirement just to cover today's crisis. Now that quick fix piles on interest, stress, and setbacks. But with an emergency fund, that story flips, and all of a sudden you have breathing room and your chaos turns into something manageable, and you get to keep your bigger money goals on track. So this brings us to the question then of how much should you have in an emergency fund? That amount really depends on you and your circumstance. Now here's where it gets personal. For at least 1 year, how many things that you've had pop up that you had to shell out money for? It could be an unexpected bill or even something small like your phone breaking. Now add all that up and see how much it costs you, and you'll use that amount to start out so you can set a realistic savings target that fits your lifestyle. Now if you're living paycheck to paycheck or your income varies, saving might feel out of reach. But here's the key. Your number doesn't have to look like anyone else's. It should reflect your life and your expenses. The point is, set a target that feels realistic for you. So where do you go from here? Simple. Let's talk about how to actually build your emergency fund. And really, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to building a financial safety net, and that's actually a good thing. There's several simple strategies that you can use to get you started, and the cool thing is, it doesn't matter whether your income is steady, irregular, or if you're working with limited room in your budget. If saving feels tough right now, then start out small and realize when it comes to managing your day-to-day cash flow, it doesn't have to be complicated. Maybe that's skipping a couple of pricey lattes each week or cutting back on those impulse snack runs. Little changes like that carve out extra dollars that you can throw into your emergency fund without hurting your bank account. Now, you could end up using one strategy or do a mixture of both. The main thing is to choose something that's going to fit your life and make saving feel doable, because the most important part isn't how you start, it's that you do. Okay, we've got 5 simple strategies that you can start using right now to build your emergency fund, and the best part is they're so doable that you'll barely feel the difference in your everyday money. Method number 1, create a savings habit. No matter where you start, building a consistent savings habit is one of the fastest ways that you can grow your emergency fund. And here's the thing, it's not really about the amount, it's about the routine. Now, once saving becomes something that you do on autopilot, it starts to grow faster than you expect. So how do you make sure, though, that that savings habit is going to stick? Here's how to do it in a few simple steps. So the first step is to set a clear goal. Having a target makes saving feel real. And here's a little secret to that. Shorter goals are the easiest way you're going to start. So instead of aiming for an ambitious $5,000 right away, try hitting $500 first. That early win proves that it's doable, builds your confidence, and gives you the momentum to keep it going. Now, if you'd like a clearer picture, a free savings goal calculator like NerdWallet's can map out exactly how long that it's going to take to hit your goal based on how much and how often that you can save. Now, the next thing you can do is set up a system that keeps you on track. The secret is sticking with it. Maybe you commit to dropping a set amount of cash into an envelope each week, or even set up an automatic transfer if that's easier. The real power comes from building the habit, not chasing perfection. Whatever setup keeps you saving is going to be the right one. And hey, if you can toss in a little extra now and then, that's even better. It will definitely speed things up. Now, another useful step is tracking your progress. And the reason why is there is nothing like watching your balance grow, even a little at a time. Really, it can be so motivating when you do that. Now, some things that you can do to help keep a pulse on your savings are to set up balance alerts. Check your account once a week, or use a visual tracker like a savings thermometer. When you see progress, you feel progress, and that keeps the savings habit alive. And finally, you want to celebrate your milestones. Now, when you hit a savings goal, mark that moment. You're doing something powerful by protecting your future. So go ahead and give yourself a little budget-friendly reward, like maybe grabbing your favorite fancy coffee or planning a cozy movie night in. Then, once you've celebrated, set your sights on the next goal and then keep that habit rolling in. Now, let's take a look at another smart way to strengthen your emergency fund, and that's with method number 2. Manage your cash flow. When you start actively tracking your cash flow, you'll begin spotting opportunities to make smarter decisions yourself. Now, maybe your bills all hit at once, leaving you strapped until payday. In that case, try reaching out to your creditors like your landlord, utility providers, or credit card companies, and see if they can adjust your due dates and spread things out more evenly. It's a small step that can make a big difference. Now, of course, not every strategy is about cutting back. Some are about making the most of what comes your way with method number 3. Take advantage of windfalls. Saving can get a little easier when unexpected money comes your way, of course. Maybe it's a tax refund, a holiday bonus, birthday cash, or a surprise check you totally forgot about, like that insurance rebate hiding in the pile of pizza coupons. Now, for a lot of people, a tax refund is one of the biggest financial boosts that they're going to get all year. And while it is tempting to spend it all, especially if you've had a tight season, consider using part or even all of that money to jumpstart your emergency fund. Now, unlike your regular income that's already spoken for, these one-time windfalls can give your savings a serious boost with little sacrifice. Now, moving on to method number 4, make saving automatic. Now, if you want to make saving effortless, and I do mean effortless, the trick is to automate it. When you save automatically, you're creating a consistent habit without needing to think about it each time. Now, a common way to do this is by setting up recurring transfers through your bank or your credit union. So you choose the amounts and frequency, and the money moves directly from your checking account to your savings like clockwork. Now, this approach will definitely help you to stay on track because savings happens before you have the chance to even spend it. And over time, those regular contributions really start to add up. Now, with that said, it's important to keep an eye on your checking account balances to avoid those overdraft fees. Now, if the transfer to your savings account goes through when your checking balance is low, it could cause you a problem. So to stay on top of things, consider setting up automatic alerts or calendar reminders so you can check your balance before each transfer. Now, another one to take a look at is method number 5, save through work. So here's another sneaky way to save and have it done for you right out of your paycheck. Many employers not only offer retirement contributions, but they also let you split your direct deposits into multiple accounts. So before you even touch your money, a chunk can go straight into your savings. And honestly, this is total gold if you're the type who hears the paycheck, hit your account, and suddenly think, pizza night. Oh yeah, new shoes, maybe a kayak. Yo. So by letting HR send part of it straight to your savings, that money's tucked away before you even notice that it's gone. Out of sight, out of temptation. Really, it's like financial broccoli. You may not crave it at first, but it's really good for you in the long run. An important question to consider is, where should I keep my emergency fund? So yeah, where do you actually park this money? Now, we're not talking about burying it 15 feet deep in your backyard like some pirate treasure. Arg! The goal is pretty simple though. Keep it safe, keep it separate, and keep it close enough that you can grab it when times get tough. But here's a catch. You don't want it sitting so close that you're tempted to accidentally use it for concert tickets or a midnight taco run. Think of it like a fire extinguisher. It needs to be there when you need it, but you're not supposed to play with it on a random Tuesday. So here's a few good options that you can consider. Bank or credit union accounts. So a dedicated savings account at your bank or credit union is one of the safest places that you can keep your emergency fund. Now, this offers easy access in a pinch while still keeping the money out of your day-to-day spending habits. Now, be sure to also label that account early so you know exactly what it's for. Now, you also want to consider using a prepaid card. Now, this is going to let you load money onto it without connecting to your checking account. So you can only spend what's on the card, which helps you control access. So while it's not ideal for larger funds, it may be useful for smaller short-term emergency savings. Now, another thing that you can do is keep cash on hand. Even keeping a small amount of cash at home or with someone you trust can be helpful in situations where digital access is disrupted. Now, cash does come with risk. It can be lost, stolen, or damaged, so you only want to store a modest amount and keep it in a secure place. Now, what's that? Oh, when should you use your emergency fund? Great question. To get the most out of your emergency fund, you want to set clear boundaries for when it should be used. Not every unexpected expense is an emergency, so it's important to stay consistent with your definition. So ask yourself, is this expense truly urgent and unplanned? Does it involve my health, my safety, or ability to earn an income? So some examples could include medical bills not covered by your insurance, major home or car repairs, or essential living expenses during a sudden loss of income. And by all means, avoid using your crisis cushion for things like sales, vacations, or optional upgrades. That way, it's there when you really need it. And hey, if you do need to use it, that's exactly what it's there for. Yeah, so don't feel guilty. Just focus on rebuilding it when you can. The more you practice saving, the easier it becomes to bounce back and stay prepared for whatever comes next. Believe me, you'll be happy that you built this emergency fund when you did, because when a crisis happens, there's nothing like having a little cushion to fund your problem. So go ahead and put these tips to use now so you can start building up that emergency fund right away. And as always, stay thrifty.